Welcome back. This is possibly my last ever video this month on sugarcane. Today I'm going to show you how we plant sugarcane in trenches. Why would you want to grow sugarcane? Well, sugarcane can be used to make sugar, it can be used to make syrup, it can be used to make juice, and it can be used to make that may be very useful when society collapses. Sugarcane is super easy to grow. Anybody can grow sugarcane, provided you are in zones 8 or warmer. You may be able to push sugarcane into zone 6 or 7. There are some varieties that they've been testing that go a little further north, but it's a pretty sure bet in zones 8, 9, 10, 11, and beyond. It's actually a really hardy and easy to grow plant, considering that it is really a true tropical. Now, it being a tropical means this time of year, sugarcane should already be harvested and it's time to actually plant it for next year. You're gonna plant pieces beneath the ground. So this is how we do that. The first thing we do is get a hold of some sugarcane cuttings. Now this is easier said than done. If you go online, you can find them online and they're very expensive often and difficult to find. You can get small, tiny, weeny cuttings from different sellers on Etsy and eBay, but you want to try and find cuttings that have at least 2 to 3 or more nodes on the inside. So you want cuttings about this long. So trying to get little ones like this, yeah, they'll root, but I wouldn't necessarily plant them in a system like this. If you're gonna be planting them in pots, that might be fine, but I would much rather plant them in the ground like this and not worry about them at all anymore. So you get your sugarcane cuttings. You might get it from an ethnic market, you might get it from a farmer's market if you're in an area where they grow sugarcane, or you might get it from a nice organic market or produce market, something like that, or you have to go online and spend an arm and a leg. But once you have them, cut off the very top portion of it, throw that away. That's immature, kind of soft growth. We get rid of that. And then you chop them into pieces that have 3 or 4 growing nodes inside that can root. Sugarcane is generally propagated via cuttings, not via seeds. You can get sugarcane seeds. Some varieties don't make seeds at all because they've been bred to be vegetatively propagated for so many years, and some types only make seed occasionally. If you've got sugarcane seeds, sure, go ahead and plant them and grow them. But for this video, we're just gonna be talking about how to grow them from cuttings because that is the drop-dead easy way that most people use to grow sugarcane. Once you have your sugarcane cuttings, find an area and till it up. Now you can hack holes in the ground and you can do little circle plantings and things like that, but for traditional sugarcane planting, you till the area up and you make some trenches. We make trenches that are about 6 inches deep, and we make our trenches about 3 to 4 foot apart. We're gonna give them plenty of room because it's a tall plant and we don't really want to have to water it, so if you plant things a little wider apart, they need less irrigation. And sugarcane likes water. It doesn't have to be in a swampy area, but it does like some irrigation to grow well and to make a lot of cane for you. So plant it a little wider, there's a little more water in the soil that way. Once you have your trenches dug, put your cane in it, just lay them end to end, all your cuttings that you've made, one end to the other, and then the next trench, and then the next trench, until you have planted the entire area. And then just cover it over with some soil. Once it's covered over, you go ahead and throw whatever mulch you have available, whether it's leaves, whether it's old sugarcane leaves, could be fall leaves that are falling, could be straw or some old rotten hay or whatever, doesn't really matter. The idea is if you're in a climate where there's some freezing, you're planting at this time of year, you want it to survive through all the cold. So cover it over with something and you're just giving yourself a little more insurance. It's probably gonna live just because you buried it in the ground. Chances are in zone 8 it's not gonna freeze that hard, but a little extra is a good idea. Plus it kind of protects the ground from eroding over the course of the season, and it's also going to provide some more organic matter as the plants grow. Mulch, it makes plants happy anyway, so just go ahead and throw some on there. Now, you've got your whole bed planted, it's mulched, you just gotta wait. When spring comes around and it warms up and the soil starts to get warm, those cane pieces that you planted are going to take off and they're going to start growing, and it's going to look like you have little corn shoots coming out. They really look like little corn plants when they first start. And those little corn shoots are going to grow bigger and bigger, and if you can get some nitrogen on them in particular, they love that. They love chicken manure, they love turf fertilizer. You know, if you want to be organic about it, manure is the best way to go, I think, and it's a slow release through the season, so you can just throw some cow pies down in there, throw some chicken manure down in there, or whatever other nitrogen sources you happen to have, and they'll just grow on that and thrive on it, and they're very nice and hungry. They're going to live without it, but they're really going to take off if they have a little bit of fertility in there. You can even just take your compost and throw it down in there and throw kitchen scraps in there, whatever you want. It's going to thrive on it. Once they get growing and they get big, then when you get to the next season where frost is coming again, that's the time to harvest it. You want to harvest them before a hard frost destroys the canes, and then it's time to process the canes or take them and plant them for next season. But in a temperate climate with sugarcane, it's important not to let the cold take the whole top of it off and destroy it. It doesn't like that, and you're just going to waste your cane anyways, which you spent all summer growing.
And that was without even a single drop of rum.
That's basically my last video on sugarcane forever for at least the end of this year. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you haven't planted some sugarcane, it's quite enjoyable to grow. You could grow it as an ornamental because it's so pretty. As a matter of fact, the bed that we are planting today is right alongside my driveway, so it's going to look really cool driving up through the sugarcane plantation, and I can pretend I'm still in the tropics, which I do a lot these days. Thanks for joining me. Catch you all next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green.